when someone come in, our patient, someone like you have an end goal in mind. And for us to help you is we need to help you get to that goal. So we always want to exercise that we curate and we gave to you must have an outcome, must be outcome oriented for you to get to your end goal. The one thing I'm extremely proud about Myokinetix and the company that we all have created, all the staff and everyone's in it, especially the patient, is the core values that we stood for. A couple of years ago, I came up with 10 different core values, and I took some of them from some books I read. I read this book by the owner of Zappos, and they were really big into customer service and having that company be all about customer experience. And the name of the book was Delivering Happiness. If you guys wanted to read more about core values and what it's about, it's extremely fantastic. As I reflected on last year and the past few years we have, and as the company get bigger and bigger, as we serve more and more patients, what I realized is that these core values are great, but there are too many of them. Even for me, someone who came up with it, it was hard for me to identify with all of them at the same time. So what I did was I sat down and really reflected on my life, what my beliefs are, and why I started Myokinetix in the first place, and what is it that we're trying to do, and how do I then take those core values, compress them in a way where every team members here understand what is it that we're trying to do. If you're listening to this, you're a new patient, you're a patient that's about to start your journey with us, and you want to know more about a company, and I would love to take this time just to tell you what I'm about and what the company is about based on our core values. So the first one that I came up with was be on purpose. And the reason I came up with this is that in society, most of the time when people say that you're doing something on purpose, has a negative connotation into it. So for example, if you did something wrong and it might not even be intentional, people would then claim that, hey, you did X, Y, and Z on purpose. So it got me thinking, it was like, why is it that every time we do something wrong, people assume that we do that on purpose? But when we do something right, people don't assume that we do that on purpose. So I took that framework and I want to apply it in a setting, especially in healthcare, to make sure that every patient that comes in the door, everything that we do for each and every one is on purpose. We're doing it deliberately. The exercise that we give is on purpose. On purpose as it's going to take you from point A to point B, from point B to point C of where the patient needs to be. And the way we talk to the patient, the way we talk to anyone that comes to the door is also on purpose. The way we answer the phone is also on purpose. The way we structure our email, the way we communicate, everything that we do in here is on purpose. And the team and I have really spent a lot of time curating that experience to make sure that we can serve each and every one of you guys to the highest level as possible. So everything that we do is on purpose. And if you're listening to this and you have any feedback of something else that we can do to be more on purpose for you and your journey, please let us know, because that's part of what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow by falling forward. The second core value is do the right thing, not the easy thing. All road to hell paved with good intention. So everyone has good intention, but when it comes to action, they tend to go the other way. For example, in healthcare, big corporations in healthcare, most of the time when we have patients coming in, it could be someone like you. They have been to other PT before, and those PT practices have failed you in some way. And most of the time it has to do with because they fail you by not doing the right thing. Because doing the right thing takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of time up front. And from a business standpoint, especially big corporation where they really care about profit, to have high profit margin means you have to cut down costs when it comes to operational, right? When it comes to caring for the patient. So if they can get you from point A to point B extremely quickly without really doing the hard thing and serving you and taking you to your end goal that you really want, that decreases their profit margin, right? So that's them doing the easy thing. So what we're trying to do is we try to do the right thing up front, because the right thing is oftentimes are the harder thing, right? So for example, if you're driving and someone drove past you and then cut you off, right? The right thing to do is not to say anything and just let them be, but it's extremely hard, right? The easy thing to do is to honk back at them, yell at them, and then let that steam out, right? But it's also the wrong thing to do. So that's the concept I came up with, is that we want to do the right thing for each and every one of our patients, no matter what. The best story I've heard that our front desk has done, Jackie, is that someone called us and, they they are going through some pain and they're not the right fit for us. We're a more athletic and more active-based population. And even though she knew that the patient on the phone is not the right fit for us, she took the time to then get her the right solution for her to get the right home health care that she deserves. So that's part of us doing the right thing. Even though we don't get any benefits from that because that person did not become a patient, but I know the impact that Jackie have created for that patient really made her day and will also make her life a lot easier. So that's part of the things that we do is it's the right thing, not the easy thing. We verify insurance benefits in the front so that we can be transparent with each and every one of the patient of what their responsibility are, where most other company will not do that thing, right? Because again, it's take more time and therefore it's take away money that they can make. So doing the right thing is the biggest thing that's extremely important to me and the company. And the last core value is principles-based, outcome-oriented. What I like about this is that as I'm getting older, the thing that resonate with me more are things that have been around for a long, long time. These are principles that can withstand, centuries. And time can always go in the next 100 years. These principles will stay true no matter what, right? It's almost like something like, hey, the golden rule, right? Treat other like the way you want to be treated, right? Those are principle-based things that would never go away, right? So everything that we're trying to do is we're trying to do this principle-based stuff. These are things that's been tried and true, and we're not trying to reinvent the wheel on anything. And all we're trying to do is that if we can use principles that have been proven, I know we're on the right track, right? And the outcome-driven part is, or outcome-oriented part is extremely important, especially when it comes to healthcare, because when someone come in, our patient, someone like you have an end goal in mind. And for us to help you is we need to help you get to that goal, right? So we always want to, again, going back to being on purpose, the exercise that we curate and we gave to you must have an outcome, must be outcome-oriented for you to get to your end goal. And that's why it's a lot easier for us to set up a game plan for someone to have the end in mind. These are our core value, the three big ones for me. And I want to take this time just to let you know of what we're about and the people that's going to be with you on your journey. And if you have any question, any feedback, I would welcome that and I would appreciate that greatly. Thank you so much.